What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Catherine, what's happening? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing so wonderfully. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing excellent. I could not possibly be any better.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I noticed we're both wearing hats today.
Yes.
Are you wearing a hat because of the rain and your hair situation? Because that's why I'm wearing a hat.
No, but it would be a good, if I wasn't wearing a hat and it got all wet, I'd be having a bad hair day. Now I don't even have to worry about it. It was simply happenstance.
Okay.
But what a beautiful accident. What a beautiful surprise.
What a beautiful surprise. Yeah, it's been so rainy.
Oh, it's been terrible.
Who can be bothered with a hair care on such days?
You know what's kind of interesting? Anytime it rains, like you get a couple days of rain, it just makes it seem like, oh my God, it's been raining forever. It has been raining so much. This has to be like the rainiest year we've ever had. In reality, we've had like a drought for like so long, and it's just rained for 3 days. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it, and I want it to go away. And I got no time for this.
Yeah, I was working from home yesterday, and it was because it was rain. Well, partially because I just do that now, and partially because it was raining. Mm-hmm. And I saw there was like a break in the rain, and we have no grass. So I was like, real quick before it rains again, I'm gonna go sprinkle some seed on the little like front area, my little front area. I was like, I'll sprinkle some seeds down, and then maybe they'll grow. And it was like it's absolutely flooded my front yard. So all my little grass seed, they went away.
Oh no!
I know. I spent.
Jesus.
I was out there like a madman trying to get it done quickly before the next downpour, and I
didn't work.
Didn't work.
Hey, better luck next time. I'm sure we'll have some more rain this year, so good luck to you with your grass. I was thinking about doing some grass seed over here, but didn't get around to it.
I don't understand how people have. Well, I actually don't want a perfect lawn because they're not really that good for the environment. I do love like a natural lawn, maybe like a clover. But I don't get how people get good, nice lawns. Like ours is horrible.
Yeah. Well, number one, you got dogs.
I'm talking front yard. I'm talking side yard. I got a lot of area that the dogs don't have access to.
You don't do nothing to
Pat does. He's out there all the time.
Doing what? He's just mowing.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's not doing the right things.
What do you do? How do you take care of a lawn?
No, you gotta put like nutrients in it. You gotta put the preventer for the crabgrass. A pre-emergent. You gotta do the seeding, the overseeding as well. And then you gotta, put fertilizer on it and stuff. It's a whole thing.
Well, here's the thing. You mentioned the ducks. The ducks are the best fertilizer for the lawn that you could ever imagine. Like when my ducks were younger, I had them in one tiny little pen, and that area of the lawn is lush and beautiful, and you can see the outline of the pen still from when they were in there. Like that. Wow. Like they're good for the lawn. They're very good for the lawn.
We'll let them out in the front yard. Problem solved. There you go. You probably need some more ducks though.
They're illegal, so I can't have them out there.
Oh God.
I'll get a couple. She's sitting on some eggs right now, so I might have a couple of little ducklings.
There you go. You know how like the term riding dirty?
Yeah.
You're farming dirty.
I'm farming dirty.
Without a license.
They are.
Is that what riding dirty means? It means you're just riding without a license? Like driving a car? I think that's what it means.
I thought it meant you had a gun in your car.
Oh. Could be. That I do not know. But in other news, I'm getting my house refinanced. Okay? I'm getting my house refinanced. And because the mortgage rates are dropping. Gosh. Not that much, but a little bit.
Nominally, yeah.
It is absolutely insane how many calls I have gotten just because I guess, I don't know, there's some sort of public registry of, I'm on some list that says I'm getting my house refinanced. And now I'm not even kidding, 100 calls a day for the last 3 days. Not even kidding. It's insane.
Is it just you, or is Sarah also getting these calls? Like, how insidious is it? Oh, it's just you. Okay.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
That's very interesting. So yeah, you must be on some sort of list.
Yeah, I just don't understand it. It must have to put this out there, like as public record or something, because like the company that I'm refinancing with, why would they want other people to know? They don't want people sneaking in there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, hey, that's what I'm dealing with right now. But on the bright side, we're closing on this refi.
So many people to talk to.
Yeah.
So many potential new friends.
I know. I keep trying to be friends with them, but eventually they just get annoyed with me and hang up. Anyway, refinancing. The closing is on Monday, and it's through the same company that has the mortgage now. And there's no fees, nothing. They handle everything. And I'll save about $300 a month and take 9 years off the mortgage. How about that?
I feel like
It's all a scam.
God, it's such a scam.
It's such a scam. It's crazy.
I couldn't just
Crazy. Well, the rate's lower,
racket.
and I'm
It's a
switching to a
racket.
20-year mortgage, and the payment's still less.
That's crazy.
It doesn't really make any sense. It
doesn't
makes
make any
no sense. It's crazy. It's crazy. But
I just know
anyway,
that apparently I have to die in my house because I have like the 2.75% interest, and apparently that means I have to die here. So
okay. Good luck with that.
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. All right.
Whatever.
Where do you think
Anywho.
you would? Where do you think you would die? On the couch?
No, hopefully like out by the fire pit or something.
Oh, an outside death.
Outside.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. I want to die in the same way. You know, now that I think about it, with the trees,
Just enjoying nature. That sounds lovely.
just fall over and die.
No,
Anyway.
I want to be like sitting in my chair or something, just looking at a fire, just peacefully pass away.
Wow, that's really nice. It's really. I hope that happens for you. I hope that happens
Thank you.
for you. Well, all right. Well,
Thanks.
what do we got going on this week? What do we
Oh,
got for
gosh.
the people? Do we got some good stuff?
Yeah, we can talk about this deck that,
was-
we.
That was
What?
not convincing. The people are not going to be giving. Yeah, we got some good stuff. No, we got some good stuff. We got some
got some good
exciting
stuff. We got
stuff to
some
talk
stuff.
about here. So,
All right. Well, first and foremost, let's get into this deck that we built for the PGA Tour. That was a fun little side quest we went on.
it definitely was an interesting side quest. For those of you that didn't see it, Decorators is the official decking and railing of the PGA Tour. So there was the Truist Championship last weekend, and it is about an hour from our house. So Decorators asked if we wanted to build like the viewing deck, one of the decks that's at the course. It's like a temporary structure, but it was a super cool experience. It was a gigantic space, 82 by 22, and we brought in a bunch of other builders that are local, and we knocked this thing out in 2 days. And it was just a really cool, interesting experience. Just the build part. We'll get to the enjoyment of the tournament in a little bit, but the actual build was really cool because it was just like a unique kind of challenge. It was almost 2,000 square feet, and we also had other builders around, so it was just like a lot of fun to like get everybody together, have some new people on the crew for 2 days and just knock this thing out. Everybody was like so gung-ho, spirits were high, morale was high, and we knocked this thing out in 2 days, 2,000 square feet. All of these bar tops and everything that we built, it was super cool. What did you think about it?
I thought it was so fun, and it's always fun to do those little like disruptor things. Like, they always say it's if you're waking up at 5 a.m. on a regular work day, it's like impossible to get out of bed. But if having to wake up at 5 a.m. to go on vacation is like the easiest thing you've ever done, I feel like this is one of those like little things where it's just like a disruptor to your normal schedule that kind of like reinvigorates you. So it was really nice to be with the other builders and just kind of kibitzing with some new people. And it was beautiful. The golf course was beautiful. So it was like a nice, it was like a little bit far, but actually I shouldn't complain. I was probably the closest person on our team to that place, but the drive was like interesting and different too. So it was just like a nice little system disruptor that I really enjoyed, and it was an honor that we were asked to do it.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it.
Didn't get to go to the event, but I think it was fun.
I asked you. I
had a good
said
time?
that I had a ticket for you if you wanted to go. You didn't want to go.
Nah, we were in a fight, so
Oh, are we?
you invited Nick.
Yeah.
No,
Nobody else.
we didn't have enough tickets for the whole team. was the situation.
Yeah. Aunt had to watch his kid. He couldn't go. We only got 3 tickets. The tickets are really, really expensive. It's crazy.
How much were they? Did they tell you?
$1,200.
No.
Piece. Yeah.
No way.
I swear to God.
True. For one day?
For one day. Yep.
Who pays that? That's crazy.
I guess decorators paid it. I don't know. I didn't.
I mean, like,
it was. I guess
as the
I don't know.
general public. That's crazy.
Like, there's a lot of there's a lot of rich people out there that are like $1,200, no problem. But
I guess so. There's a lot of things that I love. Wouldn't pay that much to go see.
Open bar. I drove, so I didn't. I only had maybe like 2 drinks or something. But open bar. You got the wristband on, and the spread. My God, the spread of food was unbelievable. They had filet skewers. They had just these little egg bites.
Now, was that for everybody, or were you in some sort of VIP section, or like anybody? Could
strictly
have that?
VIP. My God,
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So we were on the deck that we built. That was one space, and then there was another like VIP area at the clubhouse, and that's where they had the ultimate spread. They had a full on pig roast. They had sushi. They had just everything. Rabbit. They had lamb.
Aww.
They had
only cute animals.
Mostly just cute animals. It was crazy, but it was amazing. Definitely worth the money since I didn't pay for it.
Yeah.
But,
I've only been to one golf tournament in my life, and the other thing I remember about it was just so quiet. Is that how that was?
Oh yeah. You
felt like you couldn't.
When did you been to a
anything?
golf tournament?
Back when I worked for Red Bull, I went to one.
Oh,
I was sent to one, and I just felt like I remember being so like at the time I worked for Red Bull. All of our events very loud and lively. They sent us to this one golf tournament in Alabama. Golf was really big, and there's this like Robert Trent Jones golf. I don't know. There's like a bunch of golf courses or something. It's like a golf trail or whatever. Anyway, It was some super fancy thing, and I felt so out of place, and it was so quiet, and I never knew like where I could go, or I just felt very like.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see.
Is that how it was for you?
Well,
same experience or different?
Well, I could see how you didn't fit in at a fancy place like that. Me, on the other hand, I'm used to hobnobbing up at these places.
My other golf course experience is I was a cart girl for a summer.
You probably hated that.
I really hated it. It was by now it's a defunct little like weird roadside zoo. This golf course was next to it, and I would park the little cart in the like when I would get sick of people, I would go into the little like cut between the 2 properties, and you could hear like all the crazy animals that they had. And it was very strange. It was a strange place.
Where was this? New Jersey?
Yeah.
Where?
Springfield Golf Center. Springfield. Golf something.
Interesting.
Long time ago. Can't really remember.
Okay. Was that the Jacksonville Zoo?
Maybe.
Could be. Anyway.
Sounds like it'd be close to it, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was very quiet, and that was kind of odd because, like, we're all up on this like viewing deck, and like everyone's like talking and everything. The tickets were $1,200. You should be allowed to freaking talk if you want, But like, there's people everywhere with signs that say "Quiet, please," and like just the amount of shushing was crazy. They just kept shushing. It was like, oh, sorry, trying to talk to somebody here. So anyway, it was really cool. Those people are really good at golf, and it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. How many people did you tell that you built the deck? Did it come up a lot?
Not really. No.
Missed opportunity.
Well, there wasn't a lot of time to talk.
You should have been hawking jobs out there.
I don't. I don't do that. I don't do that.
You see this deck?
See,
I built it.
See, that's why you don't fit in at these fancy
places. You see this
places.
craftsmanship?
That's not something you
do. I
do.
wonder who did that. It was me.
That's not something you do at these fancy places, okay? You wouldn't know.
Always
Anyway,
be
so
closing.
It was, I guess, yeah, last week we talked about, the downturn in inquiries, so maybe I should have been.
Yeah, should have been.
But we just sold a job this week, so contract signed. It always works out. It always works out, and the one that we just sold, I'm so excited about. So
yeah, that'll be a good one.
So just cool your jets there, all right?
Okay.
Anyway, so that's about it for the little golf tournament deck, which was it was cool. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do it again. Who knows?
I don't think so.
Probably
when I was
not.
watching that golf tournament, well, I guess every golf tournament is like most of the week or whatever. So when I was home, I had usually Pat had the golf channel on and I'd be watching it and I'd be like looking for the deck that we built. And they kept saying how Philadelphia is like so ill-equipped for these tournaments. And I was like, I don't know, it seems fine to me. But they were like they were really crapping on Philadelphia as a golf destination. I was like, well, geez, guys.
Yeah, well,
nice.
yeah, I mean, that's just because we don't know any better because we're not fancy people. They're like, this place sucks. Unbelievable. I can't believe they have a tournament in this dump. But anyway, all right. Well, that was a cool experience. A nice little disruptor to our normal routine, which was cool. And what do we got next? What else we got going on?
You want me to cue you up for something? Or just what I was going to talk about?
Just what you were going to talk about. You don't have to cue me up for anything. Unless you got something for me.
I don't know. It sounded like you were like wanting me to cue you up for... Do you have anything you want to talk about? What's on your mind, Sean? What do you got?
I'll get into it. I'll get into my thoughts. Why don't we get into
right
what you had some stuff that you wanted to talk about here.
All right. So I was looking into like construction news and, doing my usual peruse around the internet. And I kept seeing all these interesting articles that were going way over my head about how NASA is working on construction so they will be ready to like put people on Mars and how to use or like what materials they would use. Because obviously, it's hard enough to get stuff from Canada to New Jersey. How are you going to get stuff from here to Mars or the moon? They touched a little on the moon, but they were mostly focusing on Mars, it seems like. But I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And then I was reading about they're designing 3D printed robots to make buildings and construction materials out of Martian sand or Martian, whatever it's.
I think that's an accurate way to, Martian sand.
No, it has a word. Hang on.
Yeah, check your resources
not like,
there.
They don't call it like dirt, Martian dirt. It's got a word. But anyway, so much of this was like so technical and over my head, but it was just really interesting to think about. Like, I guess everyone wants to go to Mars now, and it's like, oh, what would they do when you get there? And they're like really trying to they're at some sort of stage where they're trying to make building products out of Martian materials.
Okay, so this is, I think it's interesting. It's cool. I don't understand the obsession with wanting to live on another planet.
Well, we're kind of ruining this one, so I think they're thinking ahead like, we might need to get off this one at some point.
That's a good point, but, it's so far away. There's nothing there. I guess it's, it's just our innate human thing. We want to just go out and explore.
Yeah.
But I think from a construction perspective, the interesting thing I think there is kind of taking some of this material that we don't really know anything about, we're not familiar with, we don't do anything with currently because we don't live on Mars. But and now, do you know, are they? Because as far as I know, they have not sent a, like the Mars rover, I think, is there now. I don't think that they've sent anything that's been able to come back yet.
I don't
or anything.
Think so. I think they are in the process of doing that. They're just able to like collect samples and like see what the stuff is made of, and then they they've been trying to like replicate that kind of stuff here.
Okay. So that makes sense.
Is my understanding of it.
Okay, so
again,
they're taking this.
I was reading the NASA website to like try to gain information from this, and so much of it is, I can't think of the word. What's the word when you like take words and then you take the first letter of them and then you acronym?
Yes.
Acronyms.
Yeah.
So many acronyms. Okay. And also, I'm just not a scientist, so it was a little confusing for me to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah.
But that does seem to be the case.
I just feel like, okay, I get that they need to research this stuff and figure out how they would build stuff, but like, it just seems like there's a lot of other hurdles that they need to figure out first. Like, how would getting there and back, first off? Like, that seems like the most important thing. Yeah. So, like, to think, all right, we need to figure out how to, just for the sake of building something on Mars, like, okay, sure. If there's something that like they can gain from this and use here, I think, oh great. You know, like a lot of times like for medical research and stuff, they'll go into the rainforest and they'll pull out, you know, plant extracts or whatever, and they find all this cool stuff. Maybe if they do that with a building material, like, oh, we synthesized this ground material from Mars, and now we've created this super superior concrete or something like that. That I can see. Cool. Great. Mm-hmm. But to just be like, all right, we don't know how we're going to get there yet, how we're going to get back, and, you know, how are you going to eat up there, all that kind of stuff. But let's figure out how to build a house. You know?
Yeah, it does seem like they're skipping a couple steps. I will say that for sure.
Yeah.
And also, I think that it's interesting that they went right to like 3D printing buildings on Mars, because I feel like we have that technology here, but it's like not perfected or widely used. So it's like, why don't we maybe work on 3D printing houses here first before we just jump to Martian 3D printers?
Yeah. Well, I guess the thing is, a 3D printed house, all you need is like the input material. All you need is the concrete, where if you were to, say, make concrete there, you can't just do like, then you'd have to have forms if you wanted to like pour concrete, you know, something like that. So in that capacity, I think it makes sense. It's just, you know, the easiest thing. It's just one material and you can build a house or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not going to be pretty though.
No.
If we're starting off a new civilization, shouldn't we, you know, emphasize some architectural beauty?
Yeah. No, it just looks like every other 3D printed houses from all the renderings that I saw. Which is another interesting thing. Like, it's constructed just like you would construct a house here.
Yeah.
3D printed, like any rendering that you've seen. It's the same thing, except it's red because it's Martian dirt. But that's another thing. Like, you can't just live on Mars. So I would think that they'd have to look like some sort of like what are they going to go in like a bubble, that you create some sort of like habitable bubble? Because you can't just be like, well, I made the inside of this house, but you know, when I open the front door,
I'm dead. Yeah, well, maybe they got a helmet on or something. I don't know.
What, did you just live with a helmet for the rest of your life? It just didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me, but
yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me. I just think, you know what? Do we need to do that? Do we need to do? What's with the obsession of like wanting to go to space? First of all, what's come from it? Going to space. All right, well, there's a lot of like satellites and stuff like that. I guess some science stuff, but like, what's the point? I just don't get it. I don't understand the appeal of it. Of going to space. You can get lost up there.
love learning about it. I have no interest in going anywhere.
Yeah, and everything I learn about space, I take with a grain of salt. They're like, oh, you know, most of it's made up. I don't even believe in space. You know what? I don't even believe in space. I think space is a lie.
It's the new round Earth. I don't even believe in space.
I don't believe in space, yeah. It's just ridiculous. All right, well, I do think that it's an interesting proposal. It's an interesting undertaking to try to do this. Like, from that perspective, I don't really see like what's really going to come of it, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Do you think that like we're going to colonize Mars in the next, say, 50 years? Do you think that's an actual thing?
No, God, no.
You don't think so? 50 years is a long time.
I'll be long dead before that happens. At least I hope so. I think that it's kind of...
How? You would be 86.
No, I'm saying I hope that I'm long dead before they start colonizing. I don't think that will happen in 50 years.
Oh, okay.
I might
gotcha.
be dead in 50 years. I don't know.
You might be, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little high level for me, but I just thought that it was interesting that they're already trying to like use the natural materials of that planet to make construction materials. I just think that that's like that's pretty cool science, I guess. But
yeah,
but I don't know. Maybe
I ain't going.
I just feel like you have to figure out how to make it more habitable. Like I don't understand like how people are going to live in a bubble, or like what's
even there? There's something so many
steps.
Y'all got Chick-fil-A? I don't think so.
I don't even think there's water on that planet. So it's like, don't you need to figure that out first?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, hey, good luck to them. Interested to see what they do with it. Maybe they develop some sort of like super concrete or something. So little flash forward foreshadowing. I got a question about concrete in the construction trivia. So,
ooh, okay.
Yeah, simmer on that a little bit. All right, I got something to think about kind of stuff here.
Okay.
I just feel like lately, I don't know, maybe it's the last.
Get it off your chest. I just feel like
in the last month or so, I don't know, I've just felt like in a funk and not really like,
wow.
It's okay. It's fine to be in a funk.
Okay.
Funk's not necessarily a bad thing, but
It's a pretty funky month. A month?
yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's not like a deep funk. It's just a subtle funk that I've been
Tell
in.
us about it. I'm so sorry. I
I'm
had no
going
idea.
to, but you keep interrupting me. My God, maybe this is the cause of the funk. You're the funk causer. God. Anyway,
we just had a long conversation about how you interrupt everyone.
We did.
Anyway, keep going.
Anyway, so, and I think that might kind of tie into this. So, I've been diagnosed with ADHD for a very long time. I think anyone that's spent enough time with me would probably corroborate that diagnosis. Would you? On record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, but I would say yes.
Yeah. And one of they have like this benchmark kind of like, I don't know, questionnaire that you fill out sometimes. And one of them's like, do you find yourself interrupting people often when you think when you think that you know what they're gonna end up saying? If you just like interrupt them, like, oh, okay, I got the point. I get what you're saying. I do that all the time, and I can't help it. And for that, I do apologize. But it's biological or whatever. I can't help it.
You are.
It's part of who I am. It's part of my superpower. But I think that ties in because I do go through these like periods where it just feels like there's a lot going on and there's a lot like kind of pulling me in different directions, whether that's like, job related stuff, whether it's the business as a whole, whether it's just like a whole bunch of like different tasks that need to be done to get to, this next thing that we have to do. It can be a whole lot of different things, but I just feel like I kind of go through these waves where those task oriented things or like, it just feels hard for me to like grasp onto everything and manage it all. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
It does?
Perfect sense.
Okay.
I bet a lot of people would feel that way.
Yeah. So I always try to like keep it top of mind that like I've felt like this before where it just feels like, there's too much responsibility. There's too much going on. There's just, I can't manage it all. And most of the time it's not necessarily like a job related thing or it doesn't necessarily have to like a direct correlation to how much I actually have to do. I think just sometimes I'm just not as good at dealing with the day to day of owning a business and being like we talked about last week, I'm, a crappy leader. That's probably why, you know what I mean? So
that's not what we talked about.
We talked about a little bit of that, but I think, hopefully that's something that other people can relate to. Just like feeling like, you're kind of like being stretched too thin, and it's not always just because you're doing too much. Like sometimes it's just like the doing is too much for you. You know what I mean?
Like you're taking too much on?
That could go on like a t-shirt or something.
Oh, it should, yeah.
You're not doing too much. It's the doing is too much. We'll work out the kinks on that. not quite ready to print yet, but
we'll workshop it.
Maybe like a poster we could do something with. But no, not necessarily taking too much on, but just like the current amount that I don't know, maybe it's a way of like every now and then it's almost like adjacent to imposter syndrome where you're just like, how did I get all this responsibility? Like when did all of this stuff pile up and like I'm responsible for all this stuff? This is just crazy. I can't manage all this, even though I have, for a long time. And I just think as sort of a, I don't want to like use this as an excuse like that I have ADHD and it's like hard for me to do certain things because it makes other things a lot easier in a way for me. But I think that is just a symptom of that. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be so much extra is added onto my plate at a certain time. It's just sometimes that feeling of so much responsibility, so much riding on this, like it just feels like the stakes are really high sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but yes and. But why does it feel different now? Or is this just like a cyclical thing that happens? Because you've been overwhelmed in the past. So
yeah,
not like you specifically, but like everyone goes through phases of that.
Yeah.
That's not just like singularly on you, but why is this different than the past times that this has happened? And if so, why?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's necessarily, I think it is definitely like cyclical. Like sometimes it just feels like, oh my God, there's too much responsibility. There's too much to do. There's too many tasks to complete. There's just too much going on and too much responsibility. And sometimes I handle that really well. And sometimes I go through phases where it's just like, you know, you just feel like you're not cut out for it sometimes for all the responsibility. And like, you know, it's just that feeling of like, how did I get here with all of this on my plate? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of.
I totally get it. And you know what? I think you need a hobby. I think you were too singularly focused on one thing and then you create issues where there aren't any. Because in reality, you've been handling all of this stuff for this long. Like why now is all of a sudden everything going to fall apart? It's not. You're going to be fine. You might be stressed.
I don't know.
You might be pulled in a bunch of different directions, but nothing's going to fall apart. You have a team behind you. It's all on you, but there's also other people involved so that, you know, you have help.
Yeah.
And you've always dealt with it in the past. So like you're just too singularly focused on one thing. Well, you kind of need something to distract you.
That's probably accurate. But I just, you know, we've been over this before with hobbies. I just have a hard time like doing a hobby just for the sake of doing a hobby. It's like, oh, let's figure out a way to do something with this. You got any suggestions for me? What do you got?
Yeah, I have so many suggestions.
All right, what do you got?
You need to find something that you're a little bit interested in, or a lot of it interested in. Something you have interest in. Okay. And then sign up for something. And this does not, and I'm not talking about like signing up for CrossFit, because that has like that's not a hobby. That's like something you're really
trying to get ripped.
Yeah, you've got different motivation there. You need to pick something like you want to start making stained glass or something.
No, don't want to do that. I'm
picking something random. So let's say you want to start making stained glass. You find classes that are once a week or however often, and you go sign up for that class. And A, signing up for the class holds you accountable. B, it ensures that you have that time every week to do it yourself. Mm-hmm. And C, it's like something that like gets you so out of your daily grind and your mental state of being singularly focused on business that you have just this mental vacation of this trivial thing. It doesn't matter if you're good at it. You're learning. You're learning something brand new, so you don't have to be good at it. And then every single time you have this incremental step forward of like being better at it, every time you come back to it, you're a little bit better at it. It's like a confidence boost. Like, oh, I'm seeing progress here. It's this little meaningless thing, but it's still something that's like you're seeing forward motion in. And it's like an ego boost. Like, okay, you know, I'm doing better. I'm doing better at this thing. So even if you feel like, oh, work is falling apart, you're still like, okay, I'm going to go take a breather at this thing that I enjoy doing. I'm going to get incrementally better at it, and I'm going to feel better about it. Okay.
I'll we've talked about this before. I'll think about it. I don't like the idea of going to a class or something like that.
Why? That's the only way. That is literally the only way that adults...
I don't like listening to other people telling me what to do, especially in my free time. I don't know.
That's where everyone goes wrong with hobbies. Everyone's like, oh, I'll just watch a YouTube video about it or whatever. Like going to a class and talking to other people doing the same thing that you're doing is like the most helpful thing. It holds you accountable. It makes sure you stick with it. I'm sure you could listen to someone teaching you how to do stained glass. They're not like trying to.
I don't want to do stained glass.
It's like a 10x seminar where they're.
Right, I don't want to do stained glass. But right now,
you're not like if you say like, okay, I'm gonna start playing guitar. I know I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna do it every day. Mm-hmm. There's no one holding you accountable. You're never gonna do it. who cares if you're making any progress because no one's ever there to like be a sounding board.
Yeah.
And you're not in like part of bringing in a hobby is like kind of the community around it. Like with guitar, I started playing guitar like a year ago, not even a year ago. And it's so lovely to just go talk to somebody who's super passionate about guitar, but they're not judging me for like, not being very good. And now we're doing these little concerts and I meet all the other people, all the other adults that are taking classes. And it's nice to just talk about something that is like, it's just like a brain vacation. It's not all the crap you're dealing with in your personal life. It's not how hard work is. It's not like, oh my gosh, the economy I gotta worry about. It's like just this silly little thing that I get to do every week. And it's such a nice little mental vacation. So I think that you need to find something that's like community based because you love talking to other people. They would all think you're so funny with your little jokes.
Well,
You'd love that.
Obviously, I'm funny. I know.
You'd love that. And I feel like
See,
every
then
time
I would be in that, and then I'd be like, kind of the star of the show. Everyone would be
go
like,
ahead, be the
this
star
new
of the
guy,
show.
He's hilarious. He's so funny, this guy. Who is this guy?
But if you
where'd
think
get
about
this
it, like
guy?
anytime I go to any of these shows, there are people that have these hobbies. Like Sean from Apex, he is a pilot, which is, I would imagine,
Dangerous.
an incredibly expensive hobby. However, you talk to him about it, he's so passionate. He loves it. He can talk to you for hours about it, which is so amazing. And there's nothing that I love more than talking to people who are passionate about some sort of hobby that they do. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's so like, I just love listening to people speak passionately about whatever they care about. It's even if it's something I don't care about, I'm like, it's so interesting. Or Craig Scheller, he's in a band.
He is, yeah. He rocks
That's
the
so
hell
cool.
out. Yeah, he does. All right, that's it. I'm joining a band.
Join a band. That'll help hold you accountable.
All right.
Gotta have weekly rehearsals or something.
Can I just do it by myself or no?
No.
Oh, all right. All right.
Don't
I
stick
will.
with
I will
things if you're
simmer
doing it
on
by
this.
yourself.
I will simmer on this. I feel like I guess there is. I don't know, just like another thing that like you have to stick to. It just seems like it's added stress. I'd like to find
But
something
you don't
that's just
have
like,
to. Like,
I just want to do it.
Yeah, you don't have to. You get to. Like, I'm paying for these guitar lessons, and if something comes up and I'm like, hey, I have to miss this week, she's not like, you're getting an F now. She's like, okay, I completely understand. And it's not a big deal. It's not like you're going to get in trouble.
Okay.
Or you're
right.
like, it's just, it's
Okay.
a hobby. It's just
All
for
right.
fun.
All right, I'm gonna simmer on it. In the meantime, this does remind me. I've been wanting to pull my guitar out and just have it sitting around. Because anytime I'm at my brother's house, he's got a music room. My favorite thing is to go play the drums. Love it. It's awesome.
There you go.
So, maybe I'll start there and we'll see how it goes. But I just wanted to, not anything really to pull from that. I mean, you seem to pull a lot of stuff from what I said, that I need a hobby and all that. But I think just sometimes you go through these cycles where you're just like, man, how did I get all this responsibility? Can I handle this? Am I able to do this? I think it's normal, and I think a lot of business owners can probably relate to that. So I don't really have. We'll see how the hobby thing works, and I'll let you guys know if that's a solution to it. But in the meantime, I think I try to recognize that you go through these cycles, and usually you just kind of get out of it, and it is what it is, and it's just a you're not going to operate at like 100% like perfect efficiency and mental state all the time, so I think you got to go through times like this to some extent where you just feel like it's maybe a little too much, and then you bust out of it and you realize, you know what, it's not too much, maybe I'm too much. Something to think about.
Maybe you are too much.
Probably. God, I'm too much. Imagine how annoyed you are with me, just working with me. I got to be with myself all day.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Trapped in that brain? That sounds
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. Well, let's get into the next thing, which is my favorite part every week, and that is our working happy hour trivia. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is such a funky little jam. I love
I
it.
love this little jam.
All right. Do you want me to start?
Yeah, sure.
I'll
Go
start.
ahead.
Okay. All right, I think we're still tied, so good there. All right. True or false? The Panama Canal expansion project is widely considered to be the world's largest ever infrastructure project.
False.
No, it's true.
Oh, okay.
It's true. It's according to many sources, it's widely considered to be the world's largest ever infrastructure project. It was started in
subjective.
2007 and finished in 2016. So it took about 9 years to do, and it doubled the capacity of the canal. And when you really think about what a canal is, building all of these locks and all of that, like it's just an insane endeavor to say, you know what, we're just going to cut through this whole land and get water in there to move ships, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy. It's crazy. So
It is pretty crazy.
Widely considered world's largest project.
I didn't mean to doubt you, Panama Canal. I knew you were spectacular.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, what do you got?
Last week we were talking about trash.
Yes.
Trashy trash. And there used to be this landfill on Staten Island called Fresh Kills. Used to be the largest. Now they have repurposed it into a nature conservatory. I think that's the right word.
Okay. You
Can't put trash
do
there
that.
anymore. Well,
This was a landfill, but now it's a nature conservatory. That's not okay. Go ahead.
Well, it's true. Hadn't you heard of this place? I thought you said last week you had heard of it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's not a trash dump anymore. Well, I guess that's debatable. It's on Staten Island. Just kidding.
I mean, it's full of trash. It's full of trash dump.
Yeah, but they bury it.
Okay. All right.
Anywho, I was thinking, Fresh Kills, that's an insane name.
Mm-hmm.
What's that about? So, true or false, Fresh Kills originally was the nickname that was later adopted as the official name because it was just so widely known as Fresh Kills. True or false?
False.
That is correct.
Oh, yeah.
It is actually a very boring name. It's just different languages poorly translated. And it's on the Fresh Kills estuary.
Okay.
It's
awesome.
fresh water. And kill is some sort of like
Native American word?
Dutch. No, it's like a Dutch.
Oh, okay.
Shortened Dutch word.
Oh, hey, how about that?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
cool
I'm up 1-0. There you go. All right. Next question for you. Here's the concrete question
Okay, yeah.
that I was talking about. I was referencing.
Concreto. Yes, let's go.
In what year was reinforced concrete used for the first time? Was it the year 1260, 1849, 300 BC, or 1904?
What just reinforced with anything?
I mean, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it, but I think reinforced
Reinforced with
concrete
like fiber or some sort of fibrous material, or reinforced with like
steel,
rebar.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I hadn't.
Well,
really
how am I supposed to know?
Well, reinforced concrete, like the term reinforced concrete is concrete with steel. So I'm assuming that that's what they meant, but I don't know. I guess they could reinforce it with a stick or something, but I don't think that would work. So.
All right, read me the question, or read me the answers again.
The year 1260, 1849, 300 BC, 1904. It's a wide gamut that these guesses are.
I also don't like that you never do those in chronological order. It makes it very confusing. My brain has to like bounce back and forth.
I could see that.
I don't know what it means.
I know that you don't know this offhand. You got to guess.
No, I don't. I just want to know what you mean by reinforced, like concrete, like maybe
just say with steel.
Maybe the Egyptians were reinforcing concrete with something that I don't even know about. Do you mean reinforced with steel? Because then I'd probably say the 1841. Or no, maybe the 19. No, I'll go 18, whatever. 18, whatever.
All right, just say a guess. What do you
18,
got?
whatever the 18, I think it was option C. Or D. No, B.
It was B, yes. 1849, and you're right.
Oh,
you are correct. So it was invented in 1849 in France by Joseph Meunier, a gardener who used steel mesh to create durable garden pots. Interesting, right?
Interesting use case.
Yeah, I would have not thought that. I would have thought that it would be, yeah, you know. And then he patented it because he was all about his Meunier, you know what I'm saying?
Go for him. Go for him.
Anyway. All right, good job.
All right, ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thatched roofs. You heard of them?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'm kind of obsessed with them. I love them. I love the way that they look. I was thinking, what's under that? What do you put under those?
Yeah, I don't know.
So is it think of like roof construction, and then like thatched roof, what would be underneath the thatching? Is it A, a rafter, B, a and also I'm talking about modern day thatched roofs, not like historically speaking. If someone were to put a thatched roof in today, this is what they would put it on. A, rafter, B, batten, C, some sort of water resistant membrane, or D, nothing.
I think it goes over like a purlin type of thing, like a batten. That's what I'm gonna guess. Batten.
Batten is correct.
All right.
Historically, it was done all of the other ways that I listed, but nowadays they put battens under them to create like a ventilation gap.
Okay. Yeah. There's the guy, like the thatch guy or something.
The thatching guy. Yeah.
The thatching guy.
You learned it from him?
That's the videos I've seen. You like his videos? What do you like about him?
I know, because he's got that wagon. He's always showing it off.
It's unbelievable.
It's eye-catching, I'll say that.
He's like a Kardashian. And he's wearing like the tightest shorts ever. It's like...
He's really showing it off, which...
Obviously,
go for him.
It's working. It's working.
It's working.
You're following him?
I don't know if you follow him, I might just be seeing it on yours.
I don't follow him.
I might follow him then.
You might.
But I just love thatched roofs. I think that they're gorgeous. And like I was reading about them a little bit, and there used to be nothing. Like you'd just look up and there would, and I'm not talking about like ancient times, like I'm talking like 50 years ago. You'd look up and it was just the bottom of the thatch, which I was like, man, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool looking, and it's quite an art. Yeah,
it is beautiful. I wish I could have that here.
Got a gigantic.
Yeah, check out that I think it's that thatching guy or the thatching guy.
Yeah.
He's in England somewhere, and he's got a wagon.
He's got a huge rear end
that
he likes to show off in his videos, but it is interesting. So, all right. Last question. What building material, very rarely used currently, was widely used for its excellent insulation properties and fire resistance?
Why'd they stop using it if it was...
That's not part of the question. You can't ask extra questions. What building material, very rarely used currently, was widely used for its excellent insulation properties and fire resistance?
Asbestos.
Yes! See, you didn't know it, but I knew if you just try asbestos, you would get it. Yeah, that was great. Good job. Proud of you.
I thought there had to be a reason that they stopped using it if it was good with fire protection and stuff.
I knew you'd get there.
That would be asbestos.
Great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on, let me click into my screen so I can get on my correct statistics. Okay, so a recent poll was conducted by the Sherwin-Williams Construction Solutions Endeavor Business Intelligence Group. So it was Sherwin-Williams backed, you get it.
Yeah.
And they did a poll about a lot of different construction statistics. So
what kind of pole? Steel pole, PVC pole, flagpole?
Flagpole, yes.
Huh. Nah, I get it. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Yeah.
So they posed this question to a bunch of construction workers in this poll, and they said, what has been the primary driver of construction delays? What do you think that they said? No, I can't give you a choice. But if you're looking at construction as a whole, what do you think the primary driver of construction delays would be? And I'll accept a couple different wordings for this because obviously this is very open-ended.
Okay, different wordings for this. Okay, I'm going between like a labor shortage or a construction delays. What's them? I know what the real answer is.
What?
It's that people didn't estimate it correctly. And then they make up excuses, obviously. Well, the delays. Oh, yeah, I can explain the delays. The delays, everything's stuck at the port still. Oh, it's not anymore? Oh, well, tariffs now. COVID. COVID. Can we still use COVID? COVID's still good to use as a excuse there. I will say, for construction, I'm just going to say labor shortage.
That's incorrect. That was the third most popular answer. The first is materials. The second, which I was very surprised at, was weather. 1, materials. 2, weather. 3, labor. 4, issues with subcontractors meeting deadline. And then 5 and 6 for safety and code compliance.
Okay. Well, good job there. You
Solid.
won. Congratulations.
I didn't win. We tied.
Oh, we did? Oh.
Tied yet again.
Oh, my God. Oh, my word. Okay. Well, hey, good tie again. Hope everyone learned a lot. And you know what? I am going to be busting out of this funk because funks are a part of life. And sometimes life gets funky. But you just gotta, just roll with it. Just roll with it. Do what you can. And, all things are cyclical.
Don't even give a funk about it.
I don't give a funk. I like that. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. And, it's being a business owner, you take on a lot. You always want to improve. You want to take on more. You want more. You want to hit new goals. You want to do all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are driven by that, myself included. And with that, you get a lot of responsibility. The stakes get a little bit higher. There's just more, at risk when you try to do bigger things. And sometimes, you can just step back and be like, oh, man, how do I get all this responsibility? But it's usually because you're doing good. And you gotta at least recognize that and recognize that it's cyclical. And, it kind of like mentally gets you ready to take that next sprint and, hit a next goal. So I'm busting out of this funk and we are going to be getting funky here, and not in a funk way, in like a playing the bass way, getting funky. Anyway.
What a great way to get out of your funk. Start
Play
playing
the
some
bass. All right. Well, that's all we got for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, this has been the Hardworking Happy Hour.
fun. See you next week.